Hey guys, so we have the Legends Festival reveals and stuff 2022. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. This is a pretty long one. It is 28.5 minutes, so I'm going to skip around to the parts that we care about. So let's just quickly zoom through this. I did actually record my live reaction to the new character reveal, so I'm going to sort of like insert that into the video. Same exact way I did for Beast Gohan's reveal. You guys seem to like that, so I'm going to do that again here. So they basically just go over a bunch of like the stuff that we're getting for part of the festival here. It's nothing really too like different than what we had last year, which is good because the festival last year was actually ridiculous. So a lot of free stuff, free summons, free tickets, login bonuses, missions. Like we'll just sort of skip through this here. There's this thing, 10 days, 1 Legends Limited. This is actually the thing we got for the anniversary, where every 10 days you log in, you get a guaranteed Legends Limited ticket. And you get a banner to summon on. I believe they show it. Yeah, here it is. So depending on like what step you're on, you can get different characters. So you can actually get like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Blue Vegeta. So some good stuff here. Nothing insane, but that's, still good. Login bonus, you get these medals, you get crystals. So just log in, get free stuff. That's pretty much the gist of this. Then you can exchange the medals for other stuff. Souls, I guess there's like a new accessory and outfit for Shallot you can get. Then we have the PvP season, which is nothing too important here. We have the boost campaign, which is pretty normal now. We have choice battle. They actually mentioned you could grab Z power for characters to the choice battle, which is very nice. It looks like we have the green Kaioken Goku, yellow Angel Vegeta, green Broly, the blue Revival Frieza, Goku Black and Zamasu, and red Bojack. Definitely would recommend the bottom one just because I think Revival Frieza is easily the best character on this list by far. So we'll see what that looks like when it's split up in the game. What else? Festival raid. So keep in mind that for the raid event, this is actually going to be following the new co-op format. So the new co-op format is going to be live in the raid. So I'm not really sure how that's going to affect the drops in total. I don't know if they're going to be, because remember, there's like special missions that pop up on your screen to give you extra rewards. So I don't know if that's going to be giving you extra medals or whatever that's going to be doing. So we will see what that looks like, but keep in mind that that is going to be live during this new raid here. All right, Hoi Poi coins are back. It looks like there is also going to be a new format here. There's like chance balls. They mentioned there's different kinds of Hoi Poi coins you can get or something. Play various events and content to collect festival chance Hoi Poi coins. Use the coins you collect to get prizes of 5 different ranks at random from the festival chance Hoi Poi. And then you exchange those for the rewards. So I guess you randomly get the different tiered, I guess 1 through 5, right, of these. And then you can exchange those depending on what you get for different items in the shop. So it's a bit different, but it's ultimately, again, at the end of the day, it's just free stuff, which is good. Alrighty, what else we have here? Yep, they talk about this a lot. We have the Supreme Thanks campaign, which is the gold plates. So for, I think it's November 1st all the way until November 1st of this year. So it's November 1st, 2021 to November 1st of 2022. You're going to be receiving 1 gold plate, I believe, for every 1,000 crystals that you used on summons. You can use these plates to exchange for tickets. You can use them to exchange for card sleeves. Remember last year they had a bunch of different resources. They had like Zenkai Souls, skip tickets, energy, erasers, like different kinds of platinum medals, like all these stuff. All the stuff was in the shop, so you could exchange it for a lot of different stuff, which was very nice. So that's just, again, free stuff that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Then we have missions, something crazy here. You get 3,000 crystals for doing all the missions, which is pretty decent. Then we have Legends Tuesday, which if you guys remember, this was actually something they came up with for the anniversary. Every Tuesday you log in, you get the Tuesday medal, which you can exchange for crystals, Z-Power, all that good stuff. So again, like pretty much 2/3 of this entire reveals and stuff are just them going over how to get free stuff during Legends Festival. We have this new, okay, this is something that I actually do not like at all. We have this new type of medal called Z2 medals. So up until this point, you guys have summoned on banners, and if you have a character at 14 stars fully maxed out, you obviously cannot receive Z-Power for those characters anymore because they're fully maxed out. So instead of getting Z-Power for the character, you get what are called Z medals. So now they're basically making a new type of Z medal called Z2 medals. Starting with the Legends Festival, summons played using Chrono Crystals will give Z2 medals instead of Z medals. So it sounds like this is going to be something that they're going to be doing moving forward. Z2 medals are going to be the new thing, because it says starting with Legends Festival. So I assume this is going to be continuing into the future and not just specific for Legends Festival. All right, let's see. Oops, that's not what I want to drag. Let me just move my camera up here. So it is still possible to get Z2 medals from summons without using chrono crystals, such as the free consecutive summons available in step-up summons. So at this point, pretty much if you've been playing the game for any period of time, you've probably amassed at least some stockpile of normal Z medals. Somebody like me, who summoned an awful lot in this game, has, I think I'm pretty close to like 12 million Z medals. So what they're basically doing is telling you, well, too bad to the 12 million Z medals you have. We're creating this new medal where you're gonna have to start from 0 again to get all the rewards that you would want from this Z2 medal shop. They did not say whether or not you could exchange the old Z medals for the new ones, whether it's going to be like, 50 to 1 or 10 to 1 or 5, whatever the rate would be. It would be nice if they let you do that, but something tells me that this is not going to be, that's not how this is going to work, and you're pretty much going to have to start from scratch when it comes to collecting these Z medals, which is kind of stupid. I don't like this at all. And then they showed that, if you guys, watched my video on the update a few weeks ago, we saw that there was these 2 new types of tickets. There's the Ultra Skip tickets, and there are these Rocket Booster tickets. So the Ultra Skip ticket lets you skip hyperdimensional co-op and raids, and the Rocket Booster tickets lets you reduce the time spent on adventures in training, which is actually pretty good for adventures, but you can get these with Z2 medals. So basically, with all the Z medals I've saved up over the years and years and years, and hundreds of thousands, millions of crystals that I've used summoning, it's basically not going to really amount to much. So that's great. Wonderful. All right, let's move on. They also mentioned that you'll be able to get an item that will let you change the default color of your character in PvP. So if you guys have, noticed this, it's very obvious, right? You pick a character in PvP, for example, Beast Gohan. If your enemy also is using Beast Gohan, the enemy's Beast Gohan character model will have alternate colors. Looks like there's going to be an item in the Z2 medal shop that will actually let you be able to play with the alternate colored character, which is pretty cool. It's something that they definitely should have added a long time ago, but nice that they're finally giving the players the option to do that. Festival Face-Off. This is kind of like the Extreme Battle, or whatever the hell the event was called during the anniversary. Just a difficult PvE event that gets you more rewards. Again, more free stuff. All right. Looks like there's, again, this is the social media campaign, my Legends ID, nothing crazy here. Just got to get posts, and then you're going to get free stuff. So again, just more free stuff. And then is this the character reveal? Yeah, so this is the character reveal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my raw reaction to this here. And then we're going to be right back, and we will go over the details of what we saw. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. This is Legends Festival 2022. It's going to be tough to top last year. This on the screen right now, Trunks, Tag Goku and Vegeta. Tag Goku and Vegeta reveal was insanely hype. Let's see. What do we got? It's back, Legends Festival. All right. I am ready. All right. What is this, an EX Majub? Okay. Omega Shenron. Was that 17? Okay. Interesting. Sparking 17 from GT.
The worlds of the living and dead will merge.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm getting copyright claim for this, but let's go. The strongest tag character ever. Of course, we knew this was coming. Nice. Finally, some Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta representation.
It's my turn. It's over. Let's do this,
There's the Dokkan 18 key super. That's the LF. All right, nice.
I knew we could do it. Was there ever any doubt?
That looks good. They look good. They do look good for sure. All right, so here we go. This is gameplay of the GT Android 17, which is coming out alongside the Tag LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. Definitely not what I would call a very hype character for Legends Festival. Dragon Ball GT 17, but you know, it could be interesting. We'll see how he does. At least he's buffing androids, which I could definitely argue is a team that needed help. And now, of course, here we have gameplay of the Tag Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, which definitely seemed very, very cool. But well, we'll get to my opinion on this later, but yeah, the animations definitely look very nice. I don't have any negative things to say about this character in terms of the quality of the animations. I didn't really spend that much time looking at the details, so we're gonna pretty much be experiencing this for the first time together here. It looks like Goku has blast armor on his strike cards. It also looks like this is the green card. It looks like this is an AoE knockback, so that's gonna be definitely very fun. A lot of GT characters have that AoE knockback. Like Omega Shenron has that. Majub has that. Now these guys have this. So it's definitely seeming like a common theme among GT characters to have an AoE knockback green card. But this is the LF. This is basically the Dokkan 18 key super tech for the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta that came out for the 7th anniversary. But it looks good. And then this windscreen is top tier. I definitely do like this windscreen a lot. So they definitely look very cool. And this is something that we were definitely expecting to see during Legends Festival this year as well. So let's see what these guys look like here. Okay, so this is 17. Let me, again, just move this up here so we can get a full picture here. All right, so we have Android 17. He's purple, which is actually really good for GT because GT's weakest color by far was purple. Support character. He's on Androids, Twins, GT, and Powerful Opponent. Actually, they did give him Powerful Opponent. Why? Is there... Huh, they gave him powerful. I mean, I'll take it. It's extra stuff, but that's a bit interesting. Okay. So his Z ability is GT or Android blast attack and defense, and then GT strike defense. So he's giving GT 3 different stats. Obviously the strike defense not being that high, but still that's very good. That's a good Z ability for GT. All right, so he does extra damage versus Sun Family or androids, which makes sense because wasn't he like fighting Hellfighter? I honestly don't really remember the Super 17 saga that well, but I'm pretty sure he like scuffled with Hellfighter 17, so that makes sense, I guess. Following effects occur to self when battle starts. He gets 90% damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 60%, cannot be canceled, 70% to key recovery, and then nullifies attribute downgrades at normal conditions for 30 counts. So for the first 30 counts of the fight, is not going to be affected by those things. Following effects occur according to the number of times this character has been on the battlefield. So one or more times. This is actually a new mechanic. I don't believe there's a character in the game that has this specific wording. So one or more times inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 15% of damage received. 2 or more times reduces enemies Dragon Balls by 1, activates twice. And then 3 or more times inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 15 to special move and special arts cost for 20 counts. So the way that I interpret this is that all of these things are going to be happening, right? So for example, you switch in once with this character, only the damage received debuff is going to apply. But on the 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th time this character is entering the battlefield, that will continuously happen every time he switches in. It says 1 or more times. So all of these effects are going to be continuously happening, obviously, except for the Dragon Ball Destruction one that only activates twice. But definitely an interesting mechanic. I don't think this is overly strong, right? It's only, you know, damage received, special move, and special arts cost increase. The Dragon Ball one is definitely the most powerful one here. This one kind of reminds me of LF Full Power Frieza. Has a similar ability. He destroys Dragon Balls when he enters the battlefield. So this is probably a character that will have a lot of utility to him, which is nice. That's what we want support characters to have. All right, next page, we have the following effects occur according to the number of timer counts elapsed from battle start. 15 counts elapsed, 40% damage inflicted, and -5 to own arts cost. Then for 30 counts, he gets a 35% heal, which is actually pretty nice. And he gets card draw speed for 1 level permanently. And then 40 counts elapsed, he gets extra damage by allies. So it's actually a support buff. So once 40 counts have elapsed, he actually gets 60% damage increase. Plus, remember, he's already doing 90% damage, which is just baseline. And then he's doing the extra 20% damage versus, I think, what is it, Sun Family or Sun? I forgot already. Yeah, Sun Family and androids. So he's basically going to be at 170% damage inflicted against those tags, and then 150% damage inflicted against the other tags in the game once you have the 40 counts elapsed. Shortens own sub count by 2 as a default, which is pretty nice. That's definitely going to be noticeable, I think. And then the following effects occur when this character is switched to standby. Restores ally ki by 20, 20% damage inflicted, randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards, randomly destroys 1 enemy card, inflicts all enemies attribute downgrade, minus 15% of strike art's power for 15 timer counts. That's a pretty good ability right there. We saw the superhero Pan introduce that mechanic. I think this 17 with that ability is going to be pretty nice. So that's a lot he's doing when he switches out. He's giving allies key, damage, giving you a card, destroying an enemy card, and then reducing the damage that they're doing with their strike cards. Then he gives 10% to damage inflicted for 10 counts every time this character uses an arts card if enemy's health is 70% or less. That is to himself. 10% damage inflicted for 10 times every time this character uses an arts card if enemy's health is 70%. Yes, he's basically stacking up that damage for himself, depending on the enemy's HP. And then restores 30% of damage received after enemy attack is over, up to 30% of own HP. So he seems pretty good. I think that's it, right? That's all the info they gave for him. Yeah, so he actually does seem pretty good. Again, we're not going to know the full extent of how good he's going to be until we see the full details in game tomorrow, but I do actually like this guy. He seems pretty decent. I don't know if he's going to be as good as Pan, the superhero Pan, because she's pretty much another level when it comes to support characters, but this guy does seem like a competent, good support unit, and he's purple, which is perfect for GT, so seems pretty decent. All right, let's move on to the big guns here. We got Super Saiyan 4, Goku and Vegeta. They are a tag character. They are green, which I definitely expected considering how they have been handling releases this year. Pretty much the way this goes is they release a very powerful LF character every month, and then the next character that comes out is the character that just straight up counters the previous character. We've seen this happen literally almost every single month this year. So they are continuing this. They seemingly do want to sort of put the Beast Gohan meta in check by making these guys green. So we'll see how that works for them. But I do like the art. I do like Omega in the background. So that's definitely going to be interesting. They are a melee type character, but I assume it's going to sort of like swap like how the Goku and Vegeta did last year, where Goku was more of the melee type character and Vegeta was more of the range type character. The good thing about having these tag Goku and Vegeta characters, though, is they do get a lot of different teams. Sun Family, Saiyan, GT, Vegeta Clan. Those are 4 like legitimate teams, so they're going to be helping a lot of those tags, obviously. So Z ability is we have 30% to GT or Saiyan strike and blast attacks of both offenses, and then 15% to GT strike defense, so a third stat for GT. Kind of surprised they're going with the third stat over just the like the damage increasing Z abilities, which we've sort of seen recently, right? But it's fine. All right, so they actually gave a full thing for the special move arts, because obviously this being a tag unit, their LF is triggered by the blue card, not through an ultimate. So we have 30% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts, applies attribute upgrade, minus 30% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 3 counts, and then nullifies enemy's HP when it reaches 0 effects when this character attacks for 3 counts. So that's obviously nothing too crazy, but getting the extra sustained damage cut penetration on there is pretty nice. So destroys all of your own cards upon activation, applies the following effects to self based on the number of arts cards destroyed. 1 card, 15% of special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts and restores Vanish Gauge by 30%. 2 cards is 30% damage, 50% Vanish Gauge restoration. And then 3 cards is 45% special move damage inflicted and 100% Vanish Gauge restoration. So if you're destroying 3 cards with your blue card, think about how much damage. You're doing 75% extra special move damage with the 3 cards destroyed, and you're penetrating 30% of the enemy sustained damage cut effects, and you're getting full Vanish recovered. You're getting your full Vanish back. And the thing about this that's going to be interesting, that I think we'll probably notice is going to be important real fast with this character, is it's going to be very, very difficult to tell how many cards, if you're fighting a Goku and Vegeta, right? It's going to be very difficult to tell like how many cards your opponent destroyed in their hand to get their Vanish Gauge back. So I think you're pretty much going to always have to assume they're getting their full Vanish Gauge back. So we will see how that plays out. But like, even if you're fighting a Goku and Vegeta and they only end up destroying one of their cards, like, you're not going to know how many cards they destroyed. So I think even though they only recovered 30% of their Vanish Gauge back, it's probably safer to just assume they restored their full Vanish Gauge and play a little bit more passively then. But that is a strong mechanic. Randomly draws at most 2 cards on hit when you have 3 or fewer cards. So this is a monster special move. This is a monster blue card right here. This is all tied to the blue card. All of this. This looks pretty strong. All right, so the switch ability when you're starting as Goku, you tag into Vegeta, you reverse your own element factor. Now, before we go further, every single tag character that we've gotten into the game by now has had this reverse element factor ability, which I get it's a cool mechanic, but it's becoming a little repetitive in my opinion too, for every single tag character to have the same thing. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they mentioned in the last year's Legends Festival reveal for the Blue Goku and Vegeta for the Broly movie, I believe they said that they wanted tag characters to have like a unique effect whenever they tagged in and out. So very weird that they decided to just put this onto every single tag character. I mean, it kind of does give the tag character identity its own unique trait, but I don't know. I feel like they could have made it a little bit more unique, but it's fine. All right, so reverse element factor randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards. That's strong. That's very strong. Restores unhealth by 20% and ki by 30. Gets card draw speed for 15 counts. -10 to own strike and blast arts costs. Nullifies enemies' special actions that activate when changing cover for 10 counts if there are 3 enemy battle members remaining. That is an insane switch ability. Think about what's happening. You're reversing your element factor, you're healing by 20%, 30 ki, card draw speed, you're drawing a card anyway, you're reducing the cost of your hand, and you're nullifying enemy cover change for 10 counts. That is one of the strongest abilities in the game, period. This switch ability is insane. This is ridiculous, like utterly nuts. I think it is going to make a big difference though if the enemy has less than 3 battle members remaining. That special cover change nullification ability is that's like half of the value of the switch mechanic. So but on the other hand, if the enemy has 2 battle members left remaining, you're pretty much winning anyway. So but that is a super strong ability right there. And then for Vegeta, his blue card applies the following effects upon activation. So we have the same damage inflicted, we have the same sustained damage cut penetration, nullifies endurance, and it looks like it's the same exact thing depending on how many arts cards you destroy. But then he randomly destroys 2 enemy cards on hit instead of Goku, who's drawing the cards on hit. But the one thing I will say is I really do like the fact that Vegeta is also gaining his Vanish Gauge, because if you guys remember to the last year, the tag Goku and Vegeta, Goku was the only one who restored his Vanishing Gauge, whereas Vegeta's blue card did more damage, and Goku's is by far better. Vegeta's blue card hits a little harder, sure, but I'd much rather will take the utility of restoring my Vanish Gauge over the extra damage. So I'm glad they decided this time to give both the Goku and Vegeta blue cards the ability to destroy Vanish Gauge. Vegeta destroying 2 cards is pretty nice. I think I'd rather take the Goku one just to get my hand back filled up and ready to go, but they're pretty similar. The blue card effects aren't that different. And then it looks like the tag switch back into Goku, reverse own element factor, draws a special move arts card next. So he actually force draws a blue card when you switch into Goku. Gets 20% HP, 30 ki, 50% to own critical rate for 10 counts, applies attribute upgrade, shortens sub count by 2 to sell for 15 counts, and then they also do grab the nullification. So that's pretty good. The one thing I will say though is that there are differences between the tag in and out for the Goku and Vegeta. So Vegeta looks like the tag into Vegeta, where is this? There's so much stuff here. The tag into Vegeta is going to be more so of a combo extending mechanic, right? You're drawing a card, you're getting card draw speed, you're reducing your cost, whereas the switch into Goku is more so of the switch into Goku is more so of you want to finish the combo with Goku. So Goku comes in, he gets critical rate, and he draws a blue card, and that's really what you're going to be trying to do, is just finish the combo with that blue card and crit and perform a crit, right? That's what I guess the style is going to be here. But there's a lot for this character that we haven't seen. Like we didn't see any of their unique abilities at all, besides the switch ability, which is not a unique ability. So it is going to be tough to see how, or to really judge and, you know, comment on how good this character is going to be, because there's no info here. There's literally nothing here. All we saw were the tag mechanics and then the blue card effects, and that's it. So we will have to wait and see for the full info before we can make a judgment call on how good these guys are. We are going to be getting the GT theme here, the Dan Dan Kokoro Hikaru Teku song, which did play during the 30th anniversary when Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta came out. There is going to be a Legends Battle Royale for GT, sure. And then they did do another reveal here at the very end, which is pretty cool. So they're bringing the Saiyan in Red and Zaha as playable characters to the game. They are not going to be summonable characters. You're going to be able to get them through different means. I'm actually going to start with the way you get these guys. So if we go back here, get Z power by advancing through the main story and missions, clear the main story. So Zaha is part 1, book 3, chapter 5. Saiyan in Red is part 3, book 7, chapter 7. Complete missions. And then, of course, they had to throw in the Z2 medals in there for whatever reason. But that's how you get these guys. They're not summoned. They're not summonable characters. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at what they're doing. They're free units, so they're not going to be crazy good, but they seem okay. So the Saiyan in Red is just a Saiyan. It's his only tag. He's ranged. He has the episode game originals as well. So Saiyan or game originals base blast attack and defense, and 15% to episode game originals base blast attack. So just a bunch of blast. 30% damage inflicted against tag Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan. 80% damage inflicted, reduces damage received by 55%, and then reduces damage received by an additional 15% for 50 counts. Actually pretty decent. 40% to health restoration for 50 counts. The following effects occur every time the enemy uses a special arts card. So every time the enemy uses a green card, he gets card draw speed by 1 level, reduces enemy key by 30, and then inflicts minus 10% of strike and blast arts power for 10 counts to the enemy, which is actually pretty good. That is a solid ability right there. All right, and then next we have the following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield, draws a blast arts card next, gets 20 key, 40% blast damage inflicted, 20% to special move damage inflicted, reduces enemy key by 15, which is actually okay for cover changing. And then the following effects occur upon landing a blast arts hit. He gets minus 5 to own special move arts cost for 10 counts up to 20. Sounds like a permanent. Oh, no, sorry, it's 10 counts. So for 10 counts, he can stack that up to 20. So you can actually get a full minus 20 cost to blue card, which is actually pretty decent. 10% chance to reduce enemies' Dragon Balls by 1. That's like LF Rose Goku Black. Like he has an ability like that. 10% is not very high. But if you, let's say you trigger 2 of these in a match, that actually could affect the match. That could affect the outcome of the match. If you destroy 2 enemy Dragon Balls with just your blast cards, that's pretty powerful. That is a decent ability right there. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. Restores health by 15%, activates 3 times, and then 20% to damage inflicted for 20 counts. This guy actually seems okay. Remember, he's a free character, so he's not going to have these modern mechanics like cover change nullification. He's not going to have a cover change. Like there's just, you know, there's a fine line between summonable characters and free-to-play characters, but he seems pretty decent. Like he just doesn't seem bad, so that's cool. All right, and then Zaha. Now the thing to note about Zaha is he has no tags, as they so eloquently described right here. No tags. Okay, so this is pretty much an exclusive leader slot character. He does give HP to game originals or blue characters. He shortens Odin's sub count by 2 as default. So that's actually pretty good. Again, that's actually the same thing that the purple 17 has. So he gets 90% damage inflicted, 50% reduced damage received by 50%. Reduced damage, that's not good enough. 50%, that's it. At least the Saiyan Red had 50% plus 15%, right? That at least some extra stuff there, but this is 50% as a free character, you're gonna get destroyed. Increases arts card draw speed by 1 level, that's good. 70% to cure recovery, that's good. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield, draws a green card next, activates twice. That could be very good. Force drawing 2 green cards, that is powerful. That is very strong. Reduces enemy key by 30, that's actually also very strong. Inflicts all enemies that we downgrade plus 10 to all arts costs for 10 counts. Cancels enemy attribute upgrades, activates 3 times. This guy's doing a lot upon entry, and it's all about debuffing the enemy, which is actually really strong. This is a pretty good ability for a free unit. The ability to just pretty much reduce their ki, increase their cost, and canceling their upgrades all at the same time. That's a strong ability. As a disruptor, that's strong. I am completely okay with this. Okay, next. Falling effects occur when this character is switched to standby, restores ally health by 5%, activates 3 times. Honestly, just make that infinite times. Like, why are you going to limit that? Restore ally ki by 30, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, plus 20% to damage received for 10 counts. Pretty standard, honestly. Applies the following effects to allies when this character is defeated. 100% to ki recovery. That is a lot. And then minus 30% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 20 counts to all allies. That is actually insanely strong. To all allies. Now, there's a reason why they didn't make it permanent, right? They only made it for 20 counts, but that is a very powerful death buff. And then his special art, so his green card, which he, again, force draws twice. 100% to the next strike arts damage inflicted and special move damage inflicted. Also applies the following effects to allies based on the number of times the special arts card was used. So the first time he uses it, he gives 30% to damage inflicted, which is actually a permanent buff. Okay. Applies buff effect, nullify attribute downgrade up to 3 times, and nullify abnormal conditions up to 3 times. Again, this is to all allies. And then the third card is restores health by 10%, which I think is just going to be like the healing is probably going to be like what you see after the third usage. Like that's going to be the permanent thing. But a permanent 30% damage inflicted and nullified buff effects, that's strong. This guy actually seems pretty good. The only thing I'm worried about is the fact that he only has 50% reduced damage received as a free-to-play unit, so he's going to get incinerated, I think, by a lot of the better units. But he seems pretty decent, actually. He's doing some pretty cool stuff. They also do mention that we are going to be getting new equipment for Legends original characters, such as Saiyan and Red, Zaha, and Shallot. I imagine that the 1000-day Bulma is probably also going to be included in this, but I imagine this equipment's going to be pretty busted. Whatever Shallot does get, finally an update, this is going to be really good for him as well. So we're going to have to farm up this as well. And that is going to be it. That is everything that we have for part 1. So I will give you guys my honest rating of this. I am a bit disappointed in what they showed off here. There's a lot of free stuff, right? I am not commenting on the rewards, the free stuff, all the different types of tickets and crystals and medals and all the different resources they're giving out. That is very good. But if you're going to strictly compare this Legends Festival celebration to what we saw last year, at least for part 1, you guys see it too. I'm not crazy when I say this, right? There is definitely a significant difference between what we've seen shown off so far for this year's part 1 and last year's part 1. The one big difference, actually, I guess there's 2 big differences. The first one, obviously, is the fact that there's only going to be seemingly 1 banner for part 1, whereas last year there were 2 banners, right? There was the Sword of Hope Trunks and the Tag Goku and Vegeta. And the second big difference, which they did not talk about at all, so I guess we don't know for sure, but they did not talk about the Z power or the sparking rates for the summon banner. Last year, they had triple Z power and 30% sparking rates, which is insane. I imagine because they did not talk about it during this reveal that it's probably going to be at 20%, which is definitely a big step down from what we had last year. But yeah, those are the 2 things I will say that definitely did, leave a bit of a bad taste in my mouth. But Goku and Vegeta look very good. We're going to have to wait and see how they handle their actual unique abilities, because we haven't really seen those yet. But I am interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this. Do you guys think this is still good? I mean, I think it's still good, but we're comparing this to last year. To me, this does not hold a candle to last year's Legends Festival announcement. Not even close. So, but still, I'm excited. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are excited as well. And I will see you all in the next one.